Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. We're just going to give it a couple minutes to allow everyone to join, and then we'll get started. For anyone who's just joining, we're just giving it a couple minutes to allow everyone to join, and then we'll get started. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. I do apologize. I've had a little bit of a cold, so if I mute to cough, I apologize ahead of time. I am Shelby Grummel. I'm the Director of Career Fairs here with Practice Match. And today I'm going to be going over how to maximize engagement at in-person career fairs. So to kick it off, pre-show preparation is very important for any event that you are attending. Our team does send the pre-show attendee list 2 days prior to the events that we host. And you want to make sure that you utilize that pre-show list and send friendly and professional emails inviting physicians to visit your booth. So this can be as simple as, hey, we're going to be at this career fair Thursday. You guys should stop by. We're looking forward to speaking with you. These are the opportunities that we have, the locations that we are hiring in. And that goes to my next point with personalized outreach. You want to make sure that your pre-fair outreach is personalized and lets the candidates know what specialties and locations that you are hiring in and that you're going to be at the fair and you're looking forward to speaking with them, because then that will help encourage them to attend the fair. They'll know you're going to be there. They'll know that you're hiring in their specialty and their geographic preferences, and that's going to encourage them to attend the event and speak with you. You also want to make sure that you are confirming any logistics. So with a lot of our events, if you have to ship anything to the hotel, you want to make sure that you are tracking your shipment, that you confirm the arrival at the hotel, and also that you ensure that you have a pickup scheduled for the next day if you need to ship items back to your organization. Our team does ask the exhibitors that attend our in-person career fairs for the tracking numbers. If you do ship something, you can provide us with those tracking numbers, and we then provide those to the coordinator at the hotel where we're hosting our event so that they can make sure that your items are in the meeting room when you arrive. If you did ship and you don't provide us with the tracking number, not a huge deal. You just might have to wait a little bit when you arrive to get your boxes into the room. But you do want to make sure that your items were shipped in a timely manner, that they did arrive to the venue. And the day after the fair, you have to make sure that you put a return label on those boxes and that a pickup is scheduled by FedEx, UPS, USPS, whatever carrier you're using to ship your items for the hotel. So they come to the hotel the next day, pick up your items, and send them back to your organization. And you're going to want to make sure that you track that as well to ensure that those items get back to your organization. Some pro tips for standing out at the events. Offering a giveaway or a raffle is very helpful to stand out at these events. Some things that you could do would be gift cards or tumblers, and it does help encourage visits. It's also very helpful when whatever you're giving away or whatever raffle that you might be offering is visible from a distance. So if you are offering a gift card, for example, maybe you have a pop-up or some sort of signage that indicates to the candidate that you are offering this giveaway if they come and talk to you during the event. That is going to encourage them to come and make sure that they stop by your booth and talk to you because they want to get entered for that give away that raffle, whatever it is that you might be offering. Also, displaying a top opportunities list will help attract attention as well. This could be, again, a pop-up sign. It could be a flyer, anything like that that lists out the specialties you're hiring for, the locations you're hiring in, maybe the different sort of bonuses, things like that that your organization offers that might attract a physician to want to work for you. And at our events, you can bring anything that fits on or behind a 6-foot table. So any pop-ups, any flyers, anything like that that fits on or behind a 6-foot, you can bring it. And the more that you have pop-up wise, again, that people can see from a distance, the more that that's going to attract physicians to your booth. Also ensure that you're sharing photos on LinkedIn and tagging Practice Match. So it's going to help boost visibility for your organization. Our team is always at the venue early. So when you arrive and set up your booth, you can always ask us to take a photo for you, post that on LinkedIn, tag Practice Match, let people know you're there, that you're ready to speak with them. And also make sure that you're staying hydrated, upbeat, and approachable. So your attitude is going to set the tone for how physicians view your brand. Not just you, but also your brand, your entire company. So you want to make sure that you are very approachable, that you're upbeat, that you're talking to the physicians, and that's going to help you stand out as well, because they're going to want to talk to you if you look approachable. If you don't look very approachable, if you're sitting down, if you're looking at your phone, the physicians aren't going to be interested in talking with you. So it's very important that you are upbeat and approachable during these events. Booth setup and first impressions. You want to walk in with confidence. So leave any stress at the door, whether it be travel stress, work stress, personal stress, whatever it is, leave it at the door when you walk into the event, and make sure that you are providing positive energy to attract the physicians. And make your booth inviting. So use eye-catching signage, professional branding, and clear messaging about your organization's opportunities. This could be a nice tablecloth, pop-up signs, signage, anything like that that is going to attract the physician to your booth, and also make it clear what organization that you are. Because again, if you did that pre-fair marketing with the post-show list, letting them know you're going to be there, then candidates who are attending specifically to talk to you can easily pick you out of the room and go directly to you to speak with you. So you want to make sure that your booth is inviting and attracting candidates to you. Also bring engaging materials. So offer promotional products that physicians will actually use, not just maybe put in their bag, forget about, or throw away as they're leaving. So this could be anything like pins, badge reels, charging cords, things like that. This is also important because it'll help them remember you long term, because they're going to be using that pin, that badge reel later on, and they're going to see your organization's logo. They're going to remember you. They're going to remember the conversation that you had, and they're going to be more likely to reach out to you or respond to your outreach to them, in addition to allowing brand awareness to other physicians as well. Because when those physicians that you gave that promotional item to are using that pin or that badge reel, they're with their colleagues says, oh, that's a cool pin, that's a cool badge reel, where'd you get that? They can now say, oh, I got it from this organization at a career fair. They were a really cool organization. You should reach out to them. So it brings brand awareness to your organization as well by offering engaging materials to these physicians during the events. And test your tech. So if you're using tablets, QR codes, sign-up forms, anything like that, make sure that your tablets, computers are charged prior to the event. Make sure that the QR codes work and they go to the link that you want them to go to, and any forms that you have them to fill out, that the correct questions are on those forms. And ensure all of that prior to the start of the fair so that you can make sure that you have the best experience at the fair. Some engagement strategies, again, make sure that you're approachable. So stand in front of your booth. In some instances, depending on the size of the room, you may not be able to stand in front of your booth, but make sure that you are standing up. Don't just sit down behind your booth. That's not as engaging. That's not as approachable to the physicians. Make sure you're standing up, you're smiling, making eye contact, and that you're engaging the physicians first. So as they're walking up to your booth, you can say, hey, how are you? What specialty are you currently training in? Or what geographic preferences do you have? Anything like that. You don't have to wait for them to come to your booth to start talking to them. And that ensures that you are approachable and they know that, and also that they're not just going to walk by your booth because you've already started engaging in conversation with them before they even got to your booth. Also, ditch the phone. So nothing says uninterested more than looking at your phone, scrolling at your phone when you're at your booth, sitting down. That is not very approachable whatsoever to the physician. So they're just going to walk right past you. Make sure that you're not sitting there on your phone and that you're staying present. Even if there's not any physician talking to you right now, there's going to be physicians coming in, moving about the room. They're going to notice if you're sitting there on your phone, not seeming interested in candidates. So make sure that you ditch that phone. And then lead with value. So ask open-ended questions. Instead of asking yes or no questions or one-word questions, ask open-ended things like what's most important to you in your next opportunity, anything like that that's going to allow the physician to sort of lead the conversation, allow the physician to tell you what they're looking for so that you can truly listen to them and then you can guide the conversation based on that. And then also follow the energy. There's no rules at our practice match career fairs that prevents you from being able to leave your booth. So if there are physicians that are in attendance and they're mingling somewhere else, maybe they're standing by the bar, maybe they're standing at a high top table eating, you can go to them. If they're not walking around the room, if you don't have any physicians currently at your booth that you're speaking with, go to them, go talk to them. There's no rules against that. That's very much encouraged. And it shows the physicians that you're truly interested in them, that you're there to speak with them and you want to talk to them. You're taking the initiative to go up to them and talk to them and their friends while they're standing at the bar or standing at the table eating food. And make sure that you are building genuine connections. So you want to listen more than you talk. So that goes back to what I said in the previous slide. Ask those open-ended questions, listen to what they say, and then tailor your pitch based on that. So if, for example, they say, I'm really interested in surfing, so I would love to have a job that is close to a beach and that I have weekends off. You can then say, oh, great, we have an opening that's only 20 minutes from the beach. You only work weekdays, no call, no weekends. It would be a perfect fit for you. That shows the physician that you are listening to what they want and that you have an opening that matches what they want. You also want to make sure that you take notes. So you're going to record any personal details for personalized follow-up. So again, going back to that surfing example, you would write that down. Make sure that you're taking those notes with the physicians, that you're keeping that for future follow-up so that you can know once the fair is over, these are the candidates that I was really interested in. These are the conversations that we had. I need to make sure that I reach out to these candidates and reference something that we spoke about so that they can remember me and that you too remember them as well. And they're more likely to respond to you because they are getting contacted by 20 plus other organizations that are at that fair, in addition to any other services that they might be signed up for where recruiters are reaching out to them. So when you have that personalized follow-up, when you actually had a conversation with that candidate, you took notes down saying what they were interested in, geographic preferences that they wanted, their work-life balance, whatever it may be, and you can reference that in your follow-up, they're going to be more likely to respond to you and that turn into a potential hire. And also be a resource, not just a recruiter. So you want to offer guidance to these physicians when they're talking to you. Let's say, for example, you have a candidate come up who requires a J1 visa sponsorship and your organization cannot sponsor visas at this time. Don't just brush them off. Actually talk to them, be a resource to them to the best of your ability. You can even guide them to practice match per se. If you don't know how to answer their questions, you can tell them, practice matches are great resources for you to use to find out more information about this, because you never know if a physician has any colleagues that are also there that they might go over to that could be a perfect fit for your opening and say, hey, that organization didn't have a fit for me, but they were really nice and they have an opening for your specialty and your geographic preferences. You should go over and chat with them. So just make sure that you're always being a resource to all physicians and that you're not just brushing them off, because that can put a bad taste in that physician's mouth their word of mouth as well. If they have colleagues there, they might not recommend you to their colleagues who could be a perfect fit for you. So if you are a resource and you are being providing guidance to these physicians, they're going to be more likely to give word of mouth for you and allow you other colleagues that they have to then come and chat with you and know about you and bring brand awareness to your organization. And then post-show success. So you want to make sure that you are following up quickly. Reach out within 24 to 48 hours while the conversation is still fresh. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of these physicians are chatting with multiple different organizations at these different events that they're attending, but also getting contacted by a lot of different organizations. So you want to make sure that you are reaching out to them in a timely manner after speaking with them so that they remember who you are and that they're more likely to respond to your follow-up emails. Also reference your chat. So make sure that you mention something specific from your discussion to jog their memory. I mentioned that in the previous slide as well. That's very important to do. Add them to your CRM. So even if you don't have an opening for them right now, you might in the future. So you want to make sure that you keep notes organized for future outreach when roles do open up. That is also very important. Keep it all organized. Take those notes, put it in your CRM or however you keep track of physicians that you spoke with. So in the coming year, months, whatever it might be, you have those candidates already in your pipeline to reach out to, and you've had conversations with them, and you could even potentially reference a conversation that you had with them a year ago at the St. Louis Career Fair, and they're going to be, again, more likely to remember that conversation and then reach out to you and follow up with you. And then thank them for visiting. So gratitude goes a long way, even if, again, it's a physician that is not in a specialty that you're hiring or they're a visa candidate and you can't sponsor visas. It doesn't ever hurt to still thank them for stopping by your booth and visiting you during the event, because again, they might refer a colleague to you based on your guidance, based on the kindness that you showed them. They know you don't have an opportunity for them, but maybe you have an opportunity for their colleagues. So it's always a good idea to thank any candidate who stopped by your booth for visiting you during the fair and just letting them know how much you appreciated talking to them. Some key takeaways. You want to stand out by offering giveaways, being upbeat and approachable. You want to create an impactful and positive first impression with these physicians. Stand up, stay alert, and keep off your phone. That's very important. And make sure that you're being a resource, not just a recruiter during these events as well. Follow up quickly within 24 to 48 hours. We do provide the post-show attendee list 24 hours after the fair. So you will be able to utilize that as well as any notes that you took and information that you received from the candidates during the fair to follow up with them and make sure that that outreach is personalized as well. And lastly, our sister company, NAS, is going to be hosting a webinar tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you are interested in attending, there's some details here about that webinar. You can scan the QR code to register for that. And otherwise, if you have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat, and Andy and I will stay on for a few minutes to answer any questions that come about. If you don't have any questions, thank you for joining. Feel free to log off, and this will be sent. The video and the recording will be sent to you all as well as posted on our website.